Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will learn about one of the most important pillars of object-oriented programming, which is polymorphism, and it comes after encapsulation and inheritance. So if you will understand this word in layman, like what is polymorphism, it means one thing with many different forms or one thing with many shapes, you can say. Or another example I can take is like one person at the same time with different characteristics. So these are the various terms or the way in which you can understand what is polymorphism. When it comes to Python, there are four different ways we can implement polymorphism. The very first one is operator overloading. Then we have method overloading and duck typing. And the fourth one is the method overriding. So we will have a look at each of these approaches in my subsequent video. But for this video, let's focus only on the operator overloading part. So I'm on my VS Code. So let's try to understand this concept. So I'm having a variable a which is holding integer 2. I'm having another variable b which is holding integer 8. Now if I'm doing addition of these two, I can simply say a plus b, and it will definitely perform the addition and it will not throw any error to us, right? So if you will go ahead and print C, it will give us the required result, which is 10. And here on the bottom, you can see that in terminal, it is showing the output is 10, which is perfectly all right. Now, let's say instead of this, you want to perform some calculation like A is 2, and I can create another variable here. So I'm having AA as 2, and I'm having another variable s which is holding Shweta. Now if I'm trying to perform the addition AA plus s, what do you think? Will it work? I will quickly go ahead and print this here and see how it happens. So it didn't work. It is saying that plus is unsupported operand type, which means you cannot go ahead and add integer with string. It is completely incompatible. How can we make this compatible, and why is it incompatible? Why can't we add it, right? So the reason why we can't add is, I can take one example of integer class and will show you. So integer is the class int, and if I will put dot, I can see the list of all the methods over here. So let's talk about add, and here you can see that it takes two parameters, right? So let me pass a comma b here. Okay, and let me go ahead and print its output. So what do you think? What will happen? Doing this will also perform the addition for me, and will give the result as 10. And the reason why it is working is because this particular operator plus, it is defined internally using the method. So whenever you are performing addition on int class objects, it will call this particular function. So it means that whenever we want to perform addition on our custom type or within or between the different data types, we need to define our own add function. So let's have a look how can we do that. So in order to start with that, I'm going to create a new class calculator. Okay, and let's first define. So if you are not sure why we are defining class, what is this init, what is this self, I would recommend you to go back and watch out my previous videos. There I have introduced you with these basic concepts. So self dot, here I need two members which will hold value of a and b. So let's call them as parameter 1, and which will hold a. Similarly, we can take parameter 2, which is param2, and we'll use it to hold the value of b. So this is the constructor, and now it means that we have a class calculator and it has two members, param1 and param2. Now I am going to create object of this class. So I am going to pass 2 comma 3, and I'm also going to create another object, and here I am passing 5 comma 7. Now if I am doing print, or let's say if I am doing result C plus D. Oops. So I'm just trying to add these two objects using the plus sign and see whether it works. And at the end, I would say result dot param1. So what do you think? Will it work? Let's give it a try. Okay, so again it complained that this line C plus D is not correct because it is using the operand plus, which is incompatible between this class calculator. So this plus operand operator is not aware what is this calculator class. So it means we need to create an association between plus and the calculator, right? So how can we do that? For that, we need to define add function the way we had seen for int class. So here, let's define add, and here add will take parameter self and some other parameters. So let's say some argument arg, and here we need to define each and every step to perform the calculation. So I'm going to take a variable first, which will work with the first argument or the first member. So self dot param1 should be added with the param1 of arg. Similarly, I can create another variable which will do the same thing with the parameter 2, arg dot param2. Okay, so it means that 2 plus 5 will be in first and 3 plus 8 would be in the second. Now we have computed the individual calculations. Next thing is we need to construct a calculator object, because our output would be the same type of object whatever we are calculating, right? So if we are performing operation on integer, then our output here was C, which was integer. So when we are performing operation on calculator class, the output should also be of the calculator class. So for that, we can create a new object here. Let's name it calc, and here we can define calculator, which will take two parameters, first and second. So these are our computed parameters, and as a last statement we just need to return this newly created object which we have just created. Now if I will go ahead and run this time you can see that it successfully performed the plus or the addition operation, and we have got the result as 7, which is 2 plus 5. And if you will print the param2 also, you will get the answer as 11, which is 3 plus 8. So this is how we can do it. So I had shown you for add. Similarly, you can try out with other operators, like you have mul, you have, and what all are available, you can just use a inbuilt class and just have a look at it. So here you can see add, sub, even you can have something for multiplication, you have something for modulo. So these all the things you can also perform like greater than. You can implement whether the object C is greater than object D. So all these things you have to define using your own method, and that's the reason we have created another method with the same name, and this particular concept is called overloading. It means method is already there, but we are providing our own implementation to support the existing method. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.